much of the microbial system in our gut controls our metabolism? Like, if we have a horrible gut microbiome, are we doomed to never lose weight?
I wouldn't say that. I think the way the body's built, everybody could achieve what they want. It'll make it a lot more difficult, though, to lose the weight and get healthy when your microbiome is not diverse and there's some problems with the gut microbiome. There are some really cool things we can do, though, for the gut microbiome. Before I share that, yes, there's a huge connection between your gut and your brain. You know this, Mindy.
Mm-hmm.
It's connected. Whatever happens in the gut happens in the brain and vice versa. So when you have a poor gut microbiome, you're going to have more cravings. You're going to crave sugar, chocolate, carbohydrates, processed foods. It's going to make it very challenging to eat clean and to practice fasting. When you clean up the gut, a lot of those neurotransmitters in the brain are optimized, and you actually think better. You think clearer. You're able to make better decisions as well. I did an experiment with my gut, and last year I did 90 days of just meat, the carnivore diet. But before I went into that, I did a gut microbiome stool test. So look at my gut microbiome, my diversity, different relationships in the bacteria. For example, Bacteroides and Akkermansia. We know Akkermansia, for example, is one of those bacteria that help with fat loss. The more of it that you have, the easier it is to burn fat. So when I did my test, and I was already lean going into it, I was already eating pretty clean going into it, so keep that in mind. But when I did my test, the results came back and it showed that my gut microbiome was average. I had average diversity. And here's the interesting part. The test suggested, when it gives you the lab report, it suggested that I needed to eat less keto, less meat, more plants and polyphenols and fiber. And look, I'm for all of that. Don't get me wrong. I talk about the value of that. I know you are as well. But I didn't do that for 90 days. I did the opposite. I just had meat and fat. And then on day 90, I retested my gut microbiome, Mindy, and you would think that it would look worse, but actually everything improved. I developed 5 keystone bacteria on day 90 that was not there on day 1, and 7 core bacteria. Because here's why I think this happened. And by the way, I think if I would have stayed with just meat and fat long term, I would have seen the opposite effect.
Right. It's all the small microdoses. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It was a shift to my gut microbiome. It was a stressor, and it forced my gut microbiome to adapt, which created amazing results. Fasting is one of those ways to do that. But if I would have stuck with that and just did carnivore long term or ketosis long term, I would have seen the opposite effect. But it was the change here. So that's good news. So change the foods you're eating, adapt to different proteins and fats and fibers and polyphenols or whatever it is. You change the food around, it'll create this adaptation, which will help with your diversity. And at the end of the day, it'll help with weight loss as well.
So you bring up such a good point that I don't want people to miss. If you go from the standard American diet to a plant-based diet, you're going to get a result because you moved away from that. If you stay on that plant-based diet over and over and over again, you're going to get stuck. And where are you going to move at that point? So let's say you move to a carnivore diet. I mean, that would be a very interesting juxtaposition, but I know people have done it. So you move to a carnivore diet. All of a sudden you get another result. And you're like, oh my gosh, I'm doing so much better. And then you're thinking it was originally the plant-based diet. Now you're confused because you're like, wait a second, maybe it's a carnivore diet. But what I hear you saying, I really want you all to hear this, is it was the change that was so pivotal. So do we have any guidelines of how often you should be changing your diet? Is it daily? Is it weekly? Is it 90 days? Like, do you have any sense of a protocol of change?
That's a tough one because it is custom. It's custom to the person, but you're absolutely right. It is about the change. I'll give you a couple of general protocols that I've used for severe autoimmune conditions. I love 90 days of a carnivore diet. I think it works incredibly well. Now, of course, women and men different. You made the case. You've made that really popular, and that is true. So if you are a woman and if you have a menstrual cycle, maybe you could cap that and cycle it with do it with your cycle is what I'm trying to say. And so the 3 weeks outside of your period, or excuse me, the week before your period, not a good idea to do that carnivore. The other 3 weeks, you could do it or do a variation of it. Now, 90 days seems to be a good sweet spot for a meat-based carnivore diet. I've done 30 days, 45. I like 90 days for the autoimmune people.
Mm-hmm.
There's the ideal of seasonal eating that
Mm.
you could also follow. That's a little bit more difficult to do, especially with dinners, but that is an idea that you can do. I know that in the book, at the end of the book, there's a 30-day plan. In the week 4 of that 30-day plan, I intentionally have these metabolic, what I call metabolic flex days, which are similar to the keto flex days I used to talk about, where you're
Right.
mixing things up a couple days per week. So you could do it weekly, you could do it monthly, you could do it seasonally. There's different ways to do it depending on what your goals are, but the goal is to change the foods you're eating. You know this, Mindy. So
Right.
many
Yeah.
people eat the same foods over
Yeah.
and over and over. That's not a good idea. Our ancestors didn't do that, nor should we.
Yeah. I think that's why the universe burned down my neighborhood in LA, because I kept going to Erewhon and buying the same salmon and
Did you?
celery salad, and I was eating it every day. And I think that the universe was like, hey, I'm going to burn down your neighborhood so
Oh
you
my
can start
gosh.
eating. No,
See,
but
we
it's,
get it. So
we get it.
even
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
I do the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's easy to make. It's right there. It's quick. I was like, and then you eat it over and over, and then all of a sudden it stops working for you. We're so guilty of that. All of it.
And just to call myself out, I am the classic, and I find something good and I eat it until I can no longer stand it. I just want to say that I also do the same thing with music. I find a song that I love and I listen to it over until I cannot listen to it anymore. But what I'm hearing you say, and I really, again, want people to understand that one of the greatest ways to get these gut bacteria to work for you is the variation. And
Yep.
just pick a variation. Don't stay in the same lane all the time.
Yeah, I could tell you right now, and I know I'm a man, different than a woman, and I'm 40 years old. So my variation right now, I've been doing this for months. Monday through Saturday, I'm carnivore actually. So
Yeah.
Monday through Saturday, I'm carnivore. Sunday, I'll have 300 to 400 grams of healthy carbohydrates, low fat day, plants, vegetables, white rice, sweet potatoes. So that's my personal variation. Sunday, I flex out. Monday through Friday, I'm carnivore, and that works for me right now. But that will change in the future. But Mindy, I do the same thing with music and songs, and it drives my fiance
Oh, yeah.
crazy.
My family, they're like tired of the same. They're like, this again? I'm like, yep. Not
You
done
play it
with
until it's played out, and then you move on to the next one. I do the same thing.
I'm so happy to hear I'm not the only one, Ben. I really
You're not.
appreciate that. I feel so seen.
I get it.
You know, I don't want to leave the carnivore topic too quickly, because I recently had a photo shoot and I, have been in a highly traumatized state this year, and I've been working on my book, and I was not looking so great. And I looked in the mirror and I was like, you have a photo shoot in a week. What are you going to do to be able to, bring back some health to you? And it's the carnivore diet, because and it wasn't fasting. I want all of that collagen, all of the meat keeps you very satisfied, and there is something incredible about a few days of carnivore only. I mixed it with some bone broth. It resets you like nothing I've ever seen. So, and I like it as like an alternative to fasting. If you're feeling like, oh, I'm not sure I want to go on a 3-day water fast, go on a 3-day carnivore diet and see how you feel. That's how I've used it. Have you seen good luck with people not necessarily going 90 days, but people just doing a day here and there?
Yeah, no, it's a fantastic reset. Absolutely. Now, some people, depending on where you're at when you go into a carnivore diet, if you're doing standard American diet and you shift to carnivore, you're going to feel worse before you feel
Yeah,
better.
that might not be so great.
Yeah, but if you're already doing low carb or eating whole foods and practicing fasting, great transition to do it for a few days or a couple of weeks. Amazing reset. I mean, you're going to notice less inflammation, less brain fog, better sleep. Your HRV is going to increase. You're going to get more deep sleep. When I did it, those 90 days, I lost 16 pounds. I didn't even know that I had 16 pounds to lose. And I dropped 6% body fat off of me. Like, I got shredded. Now, that was 90 days. And I think it was too much for me, actually. But you're going to lose weight because you're going to lower inflammation. Your joints are going to feel better. And that's for many reasons. A lot of these plants out there, I know there's a whole movement against plant toxins and anti-nutrients. And there's a case to be made for that, especially when your gut microbiome is compromised. But the solution is not to run away from them forever. The solution is to fix the gut, bring them back in, and then it's a hormetic stressor.
Yeah, like look at it like a supplement. Like you're coming in with and you're going to just bring in a treatment and then back away. That's how I think we don't tend to think of diet like that. We are like, oh, I'm either a vegan, I'm a carnivore, or I'm on the X, Y, and Z diet. But they all have benefits. And so if you can look at them as you would use medicine or you would use a supplement, like, oh, this week I'm going to lean into the healing power of carnivore. And then next week, I'm going to lean into the healing power of plants. And we should start coming back to that being the healing tool, not always trying to biohack our way into our own system. Sometimes it's just mixing up the food selection and leaning into all these tools that many people have brought forward. So I really like how you said that.